I think we all agree that college life has been a 24-hour grind. No matter what we do and no matter what we try, unfortunately, we can't escape that reality. Hello, my friends. My name is JB, and I'm sure I know why you are here watching this video. Maybe you're a college student who is calling for emergency because, desperate times call desperate measures, or you're just here to watch this video and see something that might actually apply to your life. Well, as a sophomore student, I'll be giving you some hacks or tips to cram for your exam. Just a spoiler alert before we actually begin, this is not a recommended thing to do. But again, as I have said earlier, desperate times call desperate measures, and this is the whole purpose of this video. And this will not be the usual prepare your material before studying type of video. This video will be actually useful tips to accomplish your exams with flying colors, but in a CRAM way, of course. So let's get to the first item that we have on the list. And the first tip I'd like to give this course about is to vent out any negative thoughts before studying in a CRAM way. Yes, you gotta do it. You can do this, I can do this, and we can all do this. The reason why you should at least let go of the whys behind your procrastination is to allow you to have a clear mind before starting studying in a CRAM way. And I'm just, yes, CRAM way. Yeah. Notice that some students sometimes rant random things about academics to their friends. And to give you a verification, having a rant buddy to talk to is a great way to reduce the tension and pressure inside you. And that also applies to this first tip that I am giving to you right now. Or if you don't want to share your negatives with your classmates or friends, maybe write them in your notebook instead. And that way, you'll have a reference to go back and perhaps try your best to not do it again in the future. And since this video will teach you not to cram in a cramming stage, I highly recommend you should still create a study schedule. Now, this seems to be absurd, but why do you need to allot time in making your schedule if you are now in a desperate mood? Well, to tell you, my folks, making a study schedule will not take your 10 hours of your precious time. You just have to sit there, get your pen and paper, and decide what to study first as your priority. And besides this manufacturing of study schedule, here are some hacks that you might find useful on your end. First things first, you might want to consider studying the latter part of subjects in your priority list before the subjects on your first day of exam. And this analogy just tells that if you study the subjects on your first day of your exam last, then it will be kind of fresh as a you-baked cookie in your brain cells. And the topics you have studied can be reviewed later in the day during your exam week. Your implanted intelligence about the topic will just need to be refreshed in order for you to fully understand again a certain concept. And if you want something more productive, use the chunking method if possible. Let's just say you have 6 to 8 subjects per semester, and you have to have at least 9 to 10 hours of study sessions each day. And not sure if it's ideal, but again, the purpose of this video is to help you find desperate measures. And if you have 6 to 8 subjects per term, plot the topics you wish to learn in each subject. And in terms of dividing your time to study in each subject, it will lead you to the third tip, which is to use the 50-10 rule. If you only have, let's just say, 5, 4, or 3 days before the actual exam, I highly recommend using this rule. This is the 50 minutes of studying and 10 minutes of taking a rest. You are kind of wanting to avoid cramming in the cramming stage. And as I iterated a while ago, having a 6 to 8 subjects in every semester is not an easy job for everyone. Unless you are immune to having this kind of load, congratulations, and I applaud you for that. We should all applaud ourselves, especially if you are carrying 8 to 10 subjects per term, like me, to be honest, and juggling different PDF files, notebooks, concepts, papers, documents, and everything related with school is challenging. That is why using this rule will effectively help you to learn all the things in no time, even though you are cramming it. And where was I didn't talk about the division of time yet. I'm so sorry. So during your scheduling of subjects to study first, let's say you'll allot 9 hours on Friday. And by using the 50-10 rule, you can perform the chunking technique by assigning one subject every 50 minutes of your study periods. But I think it's not a recommended move. I still prefer focusing on the latter part of subjects first than this. But If you think you have a smooth brain machine, then definitely this hack will work for you. Please, for the love of God, turn off your social media accounts before studying. You really have to finesse this habit in your academic spirit because you are in a cramming session right now. And you do not want to sink yourself more at the bottom of the ocean just to tweet that you are studying, where in fact you will just end up scrolling and scrolling and scrolling in your social media accounts. It's important to break this bad habit because this is not a good fidgeting activity while studying. And we all know the fact that our hands habitually locate something that we want to hold into. And our phone, unless you are using it to study, is not an advisable fidgeting tool. Maybe while you are reading a chapter, you may try crocheting or having a stress ball or fidget spinner at hand. Yes, social media is great to use, but you have to set your own boundaries, especially when you are on the edge of the cliff crying for help because you only have a limited time to study everything before your exams. Don't deactivate, alright? Just throw away your phone. Or maybe don't throw away your phone because phones are quite expensive right now. Just focus on studying and maybe cram successfully. I think this next tip is somehow subject to change depending on the person, but I'll still share some of the active study methods that work for me and it might actually work for you. I'm not going to dig deep about active and passive study methods because it's always been a context in this study community. But one active study method that I prefer when I cram, and I'm not saying that I always cram, alright, is by summarizing the text or the material in my own words. Rewriting them in your notebook is just a hassle. And pinpointing the exact words is not an active study method. You are just wasting your time and not processing the information in your brain at all. Another study method I implement is by having a study buddy and asking each other's questions. I don't know about this, but for me, it's so fun and engaging to ask questions and answering them based on what you have learned about the reading material. And it boosts not only your knowledge, but also your social battery as well. If you are a fast typer or writer though, I highly suggest you should write your own test questions and answer them. It is an alternative to flashcards, and this is an effective active study method for me because I can check later where I am still confused and review them over and over again until I get the concept or topic or whatever completely. Our second to the last tip for our beloved study cram warriors is to eat brain food before, during, and after studying. Maybe consider having dark chocolate, oranges, peanuts, or caffeine beside your study area. It really helps my brain to function well in times of crisis like this. Mostly because our brain functions 24/7. Yes, even though when we are asleep. And taking a rest or having a good night's sleep is not enough for our brain to get recharged and healthy. That is why brain food helps our brains, of course, to function well in times of concentrating and studying. There are a lot of foods to help you boost your brain while studying. And I'll be providing links in the description below for you to have a complete guide on what food to intake during your cramming season. Now, this is the moment that we are all waiting for. The night before the first day of your exam. I highly discourage guiding yourself to study the specific day before your important test. You should instead embrace the moment to get some good night's sleep. As I discussed in my previous video, sleeping is an essential luxury. And no, it does not mean that you are in a slump. It's just that you need to have an ideal sleeping time before entering a battle full of multiple choice, matching type, and essay questions. Remember, you need concentration, not a yawning session. Avoid being in contact with blue light, charge your gadgets that you are going to use for your exam if you are still in an online setup, or pack your purse or bag or the things that you all need before going to bed. And be sure to include brain snacks and a bottle of water if you are having a long day exam ahead. And of course, after this long battle of yours, please be sure to reward yourself with something you like. You deserve something after hitting a big stone along the way. Maybe you want to reward yourself with cute stationaries, or maybe you want to go somewhere or eat to a restaurant to celebrate, or you just want to get some good night's sleep after this as a reward. Well, it's your call. You can do whatever you want as long as it's not related to life and death situations. And that is everything for today's video. I hope you found this helpful and interesting in some way. And for those who will have their exams soon, good luck with that. And I am rooting for your passing grade. But before I end this, I just want to tell everyone that I'll be hosting a mini giveaway in my next upload as a celebration of having my first 100 subscribers on this channel. Wow! Thank you very much. And I am beyond happy for your support since day one. Thank you so much for watching out till the end. And for new viewers, I upload new videos about student diaries, ideally every week. And you can visit my Instagram for some updates about my upcoming content for all of you. Anyways, I will see you at the next one.